now listening to In the Trench.
Hello, welcome to another episode of In the Trench. Today we have probably my favorite episode so far. Every episode has been super cool, and I'm really grateful for everybody we are getting. And we have a lot of cool people coming on too. And today we have Daniel Ryjov, a professional strongman who is on track to becoming the #1 lightest 700-pound bench. I believe he told me in history, but for sure in the world. This man's is currently strict pressing. For those of you who don't know, strict pressing is when you're standing up, you grab the bar, and you lift it over your head. All the way over here, you just lift it. My man's is doing that with 440 pounds. I don't know how to express how impressive that is, and his bench at the moment is like 650 or 55 pounds, I believe he told me. And I don't remember what his deadlift was, but it's ridiculous. I know his squat is 800 pounds. So this man is an absolute tank, an absolute unit, and the absolute nicest person ever. It was really, really, really a blessing to have him on, and it's like he wants to come on again, and we're for sure going to have him on again. I'm going to show you the podcast in just a second. First, we do have to thank our sponsors. At the moment, our sponsors are Kayla and Kyle from Amore Pizza Davy, amorepizzadavy.com. Get your pizza, get your Italian food, whatever you want. Thanks again for these mics, Alliance Technology, alliancetechnology.com. Get your direct TV, get your solar panels, get your internet, whatever you want. And Scouts Armory.teespring.com. Go get your Attack on Titan merch. Without further ado, thank you again, Daniel, for coming on. It was super cool. Can't wait to see you again. Here's the podcast. Oh, dude, I love it. Nah, bro, really appreciate you coming on, dog. For real.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was super busy this week, but like for a podcast, bro, like 15, 20 minutes, whatever, why not, right?
Yeah, dude.
Talk to people.
Nah, for me, honestly, because I started my gym journey way back. I started it back last October. And I found you on TikTok like in January, and I'm like, this man's is putting up insane weight.
I think that's when I started. My TikTok was about then.
I saw that, and I was like blown away.
I've only been on there for like 5 or 6 months, man. I've just been so thankful for the opportunities I've gotten from it. Like, my following has increased a ton, and I've gotten a bunch of sponsorships, and companies have reached out to me and stuff, so.
I mean, dude, when you're strict pressing 415 pounds, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, my best is 440. I'm probably gonna go for like 455 sometime this week. We'll see. I've been trying to work on like my log presses though. So.
And what's like the goal for you? Like, are you training for like a strongman competition? You just want to be strong as shit? Like.
So right now, I really want to be the lightest to ever bench 700. So. My best is 655, which puts me at #1 in the world at my weight for full power. At bench only, I need to hit at least 675. 655 puts me at #2, I think, all time. So
that's absolutely nuts.
It's a struggle, man.
Doesn't look like a struggle for you. And I saw the video you just posted is that your wife? The one that's always been.
Oh yeah, my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend.
Yeah. She's a freak too. Like,
I see. Dude, I
lifted 425 for a double on a trap bar. It's just unreal because she weighed like 135 pounds at the time. So
that's absolutely nuts. Because I saw that she poured that was a pre-workout or like just an energy drink.
Which one?
Your incline benching 4.
Oh yeah. So that was the Rise ready to drink pre-workout.
Yeah.
That was fun.
12, moving so fast. I was like, what the heck?
Dude, I paused for like probably 15 seconds at the start of the video. So I feel like if I didn't, I'd have 15 in me. I might do an AMRAP today. I'm gonna bench today, so we'll see.
Awesome. I just got back from the gym, and so did my girlfriend, because
there we go.
No, dude, I'm on the same. To me, for honestly, like I weigh 172 right now, The goal is
Okay.
315. Like that for me, when I hit 315, that I'll be
Benching?
happy. Benching, yeah.
Okay. What are you benching right now?
I just hit a new PR on Friday, which is 260.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, that was.
And you've been lifting since you said February, or was that when you?
That's what I found you. I found you in February. No, I've been lifting. Where I started hardcore lifting like in January, but I started really getting back into the gym because I used to be a basketball player.
Okay.
I really got back into the gym last November.
Okay. All right. So that's actually really good then. You've only been in there since for what, a little over a year? Less than a year?
Less than a year, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And you're almost
weight training like 6 months. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, right there, if people listen to your podcast, they should know like 6 months of hard work, you can gain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's been the goal. And following different people, like I follow Noel, that I know.
Yeah.
You know Noel, he's a tank.
He's a beast, dude. He's huge.
Crazy. C-Bum, obviously. He's
goals right there.
The most famous person. And then for strength goals, I follow you, man. Because that
means a lot, bro.
No, that's crazy. How'd you get started? How'd you get started?
How did I get started? So I played sports all through my like middle school, high school career, whatever. Then when I got into high school, I realized I couldn't play 3 sports at once because like I would kind of be like mediocre at all, if that makes sense. Because you know, for football, you'd want to go to football camp over the summer, but then like if you're a basketball star, you do the same thing and vice versa, or baseball, whatever. So I had to pick a sport, and I picked football. And my goal was just to get big and strong back then, and it worked for a little bit. I really didn't know what I was doing in high school. I got really good at lifting, really good at football. Then got no D1 offers. My coach said I kind of fell under the radar there, but I got a ton of D3 and D2 offers. And at that point, I was like, am I going to go to the NFL if I'm a D3 player? Probably not. So let's just focus on lifting. And then when I was like 22, I think, or maybe 21, somewhere around there, my friend Nick Kiger, he has like a decent following. He actually introduced me to powerlifting. I was benching 405 like a bodybuilder, like my arms were like way out here and super wide grip and just flaring my elbows like crazy. And I hit 405 like that. And he was like, man, you're really strong. You should power lift. Tried it, did my first meet the next year, set some state records. And then ever since then, I've just been loving it, man.
So you honestly just a genetic freak in terms of strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's that. And it's also like I bust my ass off in the gym to a point where it's like I've been training consistently since I was 12 and I'm about to turn 28. Just what, it's almost 16 years now.
Yeah.
So
no, that's absolutely insane. And it's completely true. It's just putting in the work day in, day out, every day. So
yeah.
Do you do like cycles? Do you do like you'll go hardcore eating, like you'll bulk up and then cut, or is it for you just?
So for the past 2 years, I've been trying to gain weight. I was stuck at around a 535, 550 bench at 240. And I just couldn't add any weight to my lifts. Like I was too stubborn to get a coach. And I just plateaued for like a solid year. And I was like, all right, I got to fix this. So the past like 2 to 3 years, I've been trying to gain weight. Doesn't matter how it was. Like there's pictures of me on the beach, dude. I look just like a fat blob. You know, that was my first time getting up to like 280. But yeah, so I've just been trying to put on weight, and then I'll probably cut for a meet if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. Of course it makes sense. No.
Like let's say I get up to 300 and my numbers are through the roof, and then I cut to 275 for a meet. I might lose a couple % on my lifts, but I'll still be higher than what I was if I never got to 300 in the first place.
So what's the record for the lightest person to bench 700?
So right now it's, I believe 308. It's Johnny Harris, but I think he did a bench only meet and he was 293.
Oh crap.
So I'm trying to do it at 275, which is, I hit 650 after a very short prep at 270. So I bulked up to 270. I was like, my strength's going through the roof. I was like, I'm going to do a 12-week peak and see what my bench is at. And I picked a random percent increase every week, and I hit 655. Now I'm just trying to do a lot of hypertrophy work, and then I'm going to repeat for hopefully 700. And then if that goes well, I'll do one more hypertrophy block followed by another peaking phase and do a meet, so that I feel confident, if that makes sense.
Of course. And for other people that like, because for me, it's been tough, like going up in strength. Like I did, to me, my max back in October when I first hit the gym was not even a plate. It was like 115 pounds.
Yeah.
And I got to getting to 2 plates was crazy. Like it was so hard to get to 2 plates.
That's a huge milestone. And there's so many kids out there who are like, I only bench 135. I'm so depressed. And I'm like, dude, that's a huge milestone.
Yep.
Like other kids are like, I've only hit 225, and same thing. Like all those PRs are great. Like
it's the best. The feeling when I finally hit, because when I finally hit 225, it was such an ugly rep. Like I got my left arm up and my right arm took its time to get up, but eventually it got up. And then I have a friend right now, shout out to Carrion, because he's been trying for so long to hit 2 plates.
Okay.
And he just, I don't know. I tell him he should take pre-workout. He doesn't believe in
pre-workout. What is he at right now?
I believe his max is 215.
All right, so hear me out. What I want you to do, because if you train with him, right?
Yeah, I train with him.
Okay, so take like a 2.5 pound weight and put it on the inside of his weights. So that'll make the bar. Listen, that'll make the bar weigh 50 pounds instead of 45.
Okay.
So the next time he goes up to 215, it'll actually be 220. So like when you looked at 2 plates on the bar, how did you feel mentally?
So
the first time, probably intimidated.
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh, so with me, when I go for a max day, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, and I know you are too, because I saw your part of you and your girlfriend going Super Saiyan.
Yep, I love that. I actually surprised her with that. She's not really a big anime fan, but I got her liking something.
Yeah, neither is my girlfriend, but she's here. But no, so
my girlfriend getting pre-workout ready and stuff.
But I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. So before a max day, before 2 plates, I'll blast Dragon Ball Z hype music in my ears, and I'm like uber focused to put up.
So what I was trying to say was, like, for a lot of people going for a max, though, they'll feel intimidated by seeing the plates.
Yeah.
Right. So if your friend, if he could bench 215, he could probably bench 225. Right. But he probably gets nervous. He gets scared. He'll misgroove it. He'll just give up maybe. So if you make the bar way more and he doesn't like actually acknowledge that it's heavier, he'll probably end up hitting 2 plates. That's how I hit 405 for the first time. And then my friend actually misloaded the weight. I was supposed to hit 425 and I accidentally hit 440, and I had no idea. So it was a 15-pound PR back then. And it's like, I think lifting is really mental when it comes to that. So maybe you could try that out with your friend.
No, I definitely will. We've been trying so many different things with him, because he really wants to. He weighs like, I think 40 pounds more than I do. So like he really wants to hit the weight.
Yeah.
And we're like a kind of like an interesting friend group, because it's like 3-4 of us, and 3 out of the 4 of us already hit the weight. So
right.
He's really like, he's trying to keep up. And to me, that's like the number one thing in the gym, is having someone to push you. Like whenever I see my friend, like I have a friend named Nick, he's like my main like training partner, and him and I are like that on strength. So whenever I see him hit a PR, like it just, I need to hit that PR.
Yeah,
I will.
I get it. It's like Vegeta and Goku.
That's exactly what I said.
Going back and forth, they just want to one up each other. I get it.
Except I'm officially Goku, because he can put up 260.
There we go, man. And then you got to beat him to 3 plates.
Dude, I need it. So we were talking about that, because I love aesthetics, but I've never been strong in my life. And I feel like at 172, putting up 260, I feel strong. So I'm like, I want to get stronger now.
So one thing I want to say, since you bring that up, You said you like aesthetics and you also want to be strong.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're a natural lifter, or I'm assuming all of you are, you need to be strong in order to be big or aesthetic. Like it's almost impossible as a natural lifter to look like C-Bum or look like whichever bodybuilder you look up to, like Ziz maybe, and not be strong. You know, so if you're strength training, you're going to end up building muscle and you're going to look good when you cut. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes all the sense.
So if you're trying to get aesthetic and you want to be strong at the same time, do it. That's how most natural lifters are.
But my question is, so let's say, because I'm realistically, if I'm at 260 right now in terms of benching, my goal, it might be unrealistic, but my goal is to hit 3 plates by New Year's. That's the goal.
How many months is that from now?
What are we? It's exactly 6 months.
What is that? 6 months?
6 months. And in 6 months, I went up 130 pounds. 135 pounds.
So it's probably possible if you actually followed a coach. It's really hard to self-program when you're going for stuff like that. Like, for example, how often do you max out?
I max out every 5 weeks.
Every 5 weeks. How often do you think I max out?
Honestly, man, I think you're maxing out every other day.
Every
video I see of
every 5 months.
How often?
Once every 5 months.
Okay.
But I do have that one period where I hit heavy singles for 3 to 4 weeks in a row, based on if I take a deload or not. So that's probably why you feel like I max out every other day, because I'm doing heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, heavy bench, heavy overhead press.
The overhead press
realistically,
crazy.
Realistically, I'll run like a 12 to 16 week hypertrophy block, and then a 12-week peaking phase.
Okay.
So for you, if you actually wanted to hit a 315 bench, I would run like a 12-week hypertrophy block, just where you're doing volume work, 3x8, 5x5, 3x10, and slowly build strength that way. And eventually you get to the point where you're doing a 3x3 at 260, you know, or even, I don't know, a 4x2 at 275, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're not going to feel great because you're not hitting 1 rep maxes, but you're going to be like, wow, this used to be my max and I'm doing it for reps now. And then at that point, you'll probably go in and hit 315, no problem. Instead of trying to max out every, what'd you say, 5 weeks?
5 to 10 weeks, yeah.
Right. So I don't know. That's just food for thought for some people. I know a lot of kids try and max out too often.
No, I mean, I take any advice I can from any. I have a personal trainer who, and I became a personal trainer because of him.
Yeah.
And I'm studying at this point to get my certification in strength coaching. So anything I can get, like, it's really helping. And I'm gonna try what you said. I'm gonna try to make 1 more max because I have a bet with my coach right now.
Okay.
I have 3 weeks.
Go for 275, dude.
That's what I'm doing. I have 3 weeks to hit 275, and if I don't, I have to work out in a onesie. But if I do, he has to work out in a onesie.
Okay. So
that's how we do it.
I would probably just do like some heavy triples then.
Okay.
For 2 weeks, take like an extra day off or something. Like, let's say you bench every week. Do it like after 9 days for that 3rd week, and then I would go for your 275.
So how often do you think I should be benching from here till 3 weeks from now?
I would probably get in 5 bench sessions
a week
if I were you. No. Within that 3-week period.
Okay.
So two a week until that last week, and then once that last week.
Okay. And just do heavy triples, you said?
I would do heavy triples once a week, and then I would probably do a lighter form volume day later on in that week.
That's super.
So probably about every 4 days.
Awesome.
I would say.
And last question for you, since I know we are a little tight on time, you're gonna have to get to the gym.
I'm not really tight on time. I'm just gonna go bench in a bit, so I'm chilling.
Awesome. What's like next on your radar? I know you're trying to bench 700 as soon as, like, as the lightest person, but do you do like meets or like?
So once I hit 700 in the gym, I'll feel a lot more comfortable with that weight. That's when I'll probably do another hypertrophy block, and then I'll repeat for it to hit it in a meet. And I would like to do it in a full power because that's never been done before, really. So I guess my goal for that full power meet would be at least like a 2,400 total, which puts me at number 2 ever. Like, I would love to have like an 800 to 900 squat. If I hit a 700-pound bench, that would be incredible. And then anywhere between like a 750 to 850 deadlift, and I would be very happy with that.
Your squatting,
so that would be my goal.
What are you squatting right now?
My best squat was an 865 with 50 pounds of reverse bands though. Okay. And a lot of kids get confused about that and why I do that. Pretty much I ran a whole block where I did overload training with my squats, and every time I came back after that, like let's say I did 12 weeks of, let's say I'm working up to like 500-pound squats, right? I would work up to 400 raw, and then I would hit 500 with the reverse bands. Then the next week I would go up to like 450 raw, and then 550 with the reverse bands, and so and so and so, until I felt comfortable with 500, where I'm hitting like 600 at the top, 500 at the bottom, which means I know I can hit 500 raw, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course it makes sense.
So that's how I was peaking my squats, and I felt comfortable with 800. I actually walked 900 out. It felt pretty light for walking it out. Like most people, when you think you're walking out 900, feel like you're going to die, but it felt pretty good.
It's a small
and then I switched gyms, so I didn't really have a bar I could use. But yeah, that's my goal probably.
And how
2,400 total.
That's absurd to me. Where one thing my friend does have on me, my friend Nick, like my main guy, is squatting. Like I'll give that to him. Like I've had a hard time squatting. Like right now, my 1 rep max is like 330.
Okay.
Squat, but like my like clean reps is like 250. That's why like
yeah, that's good. That's not bad, dude.
No, I appreciate it, but like to hear
everyone. So one thing that everyone always like talks about is they ask me why my bench is so high compared to my like deadlift or my squat. Because I think I've only really posted like it's a 675 triple, I think, on my squats, or like 683 or something weird. And they're like, how come you only squat 50 pounds more than your bench? And I'm like, it was a set of 3, which was super easy, which means my squat at that time was probably close to like 770, which is like a 200-pound difference.
Yeah.
Or well, 120, but that was my cat. Sorry about that. But yeah, so it's like people don't realize that a lot of people, their goals are like 2-plate bench, 3-plate squat, 4-plate deadlift. Right, that's like the standard.
That's 1,000 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 1,000.
So for me, it's like realistically, if I hit the numbers I had just said to you, I would be squatting 200 pounds over my bench and deadlifting 150 pounds over my bench, which is like, that's a lot more. You know what I mean? Especially when you get into those numbers. It's like, yeah, it's like benching 200 and squatting 400. It's respectable. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just don't like posting those lifts because it's kind of boring to me.
And speaking of posting, so you started posting, you said like back in February, January. That's when I found you pretty early on, because I think the first video I saw of you, you had like 1,000 followers.
Yeah, I posted one of my overhead press videos and I got like a couple 100,000 views on it. And I was like, I like this app. It's cool, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, that's overhead pressing. You're saying you do what, 450 now, you said?
440 is my best.
440.
Yeah.
Like I tried 1 plate the other day, and to get out 1 plate was like the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's
really hard on your core. It's brutal on like your stabilizers. I've actually had a lot of glute and hamstring cramps too, because your legs are working while you're pressing. You know?
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
What's your best piece of advice for somebody trying to get as strong as they can?
Someone trying to get us, don't worry about maxing. It's pointless. Like if you're a power lifter, you're only supposed to max at your meets. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like if you're a bodybuilder, you know, you wouldn't want to stay lean year round because then you can't grow.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Of course.
You know, if you're a power lifter, why are you trying to max out every couple of weeks? If you're just gonna make your CNS shot, you're not gonna have any room to grow. Like, sure, in 5 weeks you might add 5 pounds to your bench, but what if I told you if you waited 15 weeks you'd add 30 pounds? You know, it's 15 pounds every 5 weeks versus 30 or 15, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like kids are too
Focused on numbers.
Focused on numbers. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And they want results and they want them fast. And like I said, dude, I've been lifting for 16 years. There was a point in my life when my bench didn't go up for like a solid, probably year and a half. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm maxing too often. I'm trying it too often. I'm going to sit back, do hypertrophy work. And then my bench went from 515 to 545 and then 575. And I did that all at 242. And then I hit 600 like 6 months later. And then that's when I started my bulk. And then about a year after that, I pushed it up to 650. So it takes time, man. It's not like something you just go into the gym for. You said you've been in the gym for what? A little under a year, and you added 100 and something pounds to your bench?
130, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. That's beginner games.
Yeah, no,
So
that's what everyone says. My personal trainer, he's like, listen, because the whole 3 plate thing before New Year's, he's like, you're gonna hit a plateau around 275. He says that everybody hits like this wall at 275, and moving beyond 275 is hard.
Yeah.
But once you get beyond it, you're back on the roll.
I would agree with that. Like for me, getting to that 600 point was the hardest thing ever. But then once I broke 6, dude, it was just like straight up from there, you know? So for you, if you get stuck at 275, at that point, you have a coach, so he'll tell you, you need to change your workout up. You need to change your routine, change how you try and bench. You know, let's say you were growing on a 5x5, maybe you need to do a 5x8 now. You know, or maybe it's too much volume. Maybe you need to do a 3x3. It's different for everyone. That's why I tell kids that having a coach is so important.
Yeah.
Like for me, my squats were kind of stalling out, and I had my coach Joe Corsi help me out with squats. He had me do a 3x10 beltless.
Ooh.
I was doing sets of like 1 or 2 on squats. My largest volume set was like 5. You know, and he had me do a 3x10 beltless, and I'm sitting there like feeling like I'm gonna die. And then 2 months later, I hit 515 for a 3x10 beltless, and my best set ever belted and sleeved was 505 for 10.
Oh wow. So
I added 10 pounds to my squat to my best belted and sleeved set, and I did it beltless and sleeveless, which is like a huge thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. And what are your opinions on supplements to be taken for this kind of stuff?
Like which supplements you should take?
Yeah.
So I think that food is probably the best thing you can take, obviously. But with that being said, a lot of kids need to be taking protein. I feel like protein is super important, like a multivitamin. EAAs are cool. They're not like essential, you know. I think pump caps, like anything with nitric oxide in them, or help like blood flow, will help muscle growth. You know, even if it's only a couple percent, man, like it's a couple percent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Like just getting in like your nutrients and everything. I don't know, vitamins are important. Like I don't know a lot of kids that actually stick to a real diet nowadays, but I guess a lot of the younger generation told me like they weigh out all their meals and they eat broccoli and rice. And dude, when I was that age, I was eating Burger King and McDonald's. And so for me, making sure I get like my greens shake in or a multivitamin or whatever is huge, you know?
Yeah.
So supplement wise, I wouldn't say it's needed, but I really feel like it's not going to hurt you. It's going to be beneficial no matter what. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Obviously nothing is needed, but if you can get gains here and there, like small percents will help a lot. You know, let's say you get like 3% from every supplement you take, and you take 5 different supplements, that's a 15% increase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which that's huge.
Yeah,
You know,
I definitely agree. I mean, I personally only take I'm taking 50 grams of protein a day and creatine, 5 grams.
that's on top of your food.
On top of my food.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. You know, that's an extra 50 grams of protein every day that you're getting. That probably is why your bench went up so much. You know, and creatine obviously helps as well, as long as you're drinking enough water. But like you said, you take pre-workout as well.
So the funny thing with me about pre-workout is when I first started hitting the gym, I was taking it every time I hit the gym.
Yeah.
And then I stopped feeling it. And then so I went on like a 2-week cycle of not taking it. And now I'm at the point where I only take it once a week.
Okay.
But I
That's
feel like I
fine.
should be taking it more. I feel like because I've had like the last 2 times I've gone to the gym, like today I went just really light because I'm really sore from yesterday. And
Yeah.
yesterday I went really heavy, but I didn't take the pre-workout. So I just felt like out because I was after work and it was like,
right. So like for me, I'll take my caffeine and high stim pre-workout on days where I'm doing like bench, deadlift, or like my heavy lifts and stuff like that, where I feel like I need the energy. But on days where I'm training like hypertrophy for my back or arms or shoulders, I'll generally take just like a pump pre, low stim, no caffeine really, and just try and get more blood flow. Because at the end of the day, blood flow pretty much helps growth.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, this was awesome. And
no more questions?
I think that you answered pretty much everything.
All right.
Last question is, how do I pronounce your last name?
Ryjov.
Ryjov.
Or just say Ryjov.
I'm not gonna say Ryjov. Ryjov.
Just say Ryjov. Just Americanize it, bro.
Are you French?
Russian.
Russian. That's what I said. Yeah. I said he's Russian because the last name's right, but Ryjov, the way you pronounce it, seemed French.
Yep.
If you have anybody to shout out, man, like
anyone to shout out?
All you.
I don't know. I can't really think of anyone. Just like my girl, she's right here sitting next to me. Baby, you want to say hi? Here.
Nice to meet you.
My girl right there. I guess Joe Corsi, my coach, and Damian Janak. And then all my sponsors, you know, we got Larry Wheels with Team PR, Rise Nutrition, you know, their supplements are great. Obsidian Ammonia, if you guys ever use smelling salts, I love them.
I want to try
Munch Meals. Munch Meals has actually been hooking me up with, I don't know how many of y'all who listen to this are going to be like local or in Tennessee, but Munch Meals is a local meal prep company and they hook me up big time. So I thank them a lot. Helomix, they're great. I don't know do you have a Helomix shaker?
I don't. I've been
you
wanting.
Don't?
I've been wanting to get one.
Dude, we got to get you one, man. It's like
the
easiest thing to clean ever. You don't have to deal with all these like little metal balls or like scrubbing between the what's the filters or what, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Like it's just one shaker cup.
I see it all the time. I'm
telling you, bro, they're awesome.
Grab one.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know, man. My father, if he listens to this, I'll send it to him. And he'll be like, "Oh, it's great. Okay, sure, all right, yeah."
Shout out to Mr. Ryjov.
Right, he's not gonna listen to it, but I don't know.
All right, man. Well, I really, really appreciate you coming on, dude. This was awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was fun, man. Like I said, I'm here to talk to people. Why not, bro?
Awesome. I really appreciate that. That's what we've had a couple like big-ish people come on, like Dog the Bounty Hunter's daughter came on a couple weeks ago, and she was the same way. He's like, oh, why not? You know, like everybody starts somewhere, so why not help? So really, really appreciate it, man.
All right, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate it.